I think my wife is cheating on me with my coworker and I honestly don't know what to do. So I don't like using platforms like this to begin with, but I need to let this out and vent somehow, so here I go. I'm a 33-year-old male and my 30-year-old wife. We've been together for 11 years and I thought everything was fine between us until recently for some reason. I work as a dispatcher for my wife, had a job building gaming computers but lost the job due to cutbacks, so I have been the only one earning and I have been doing a lot of hours, and one day my battery in my car ran out, so I had my wife drive me to work, and when we got to the parking lot I saw my coworker Andrew. I waved to him and he came over to say hello, and when I introduced him to my wife, she took the car to shake his hand and he looked at me and said, "You never told me your wife was so beautiful." She blushed and I laughed without thinking about it, saying I am already lucky to have her, and then we both walked into work after kissing my wife goodbye, and few days later I got my car good and running, so I have been going to work normally, but during lunch I couldn't help but see my wife's car in the parking lot. So I walked towards her and saw her and Andrew talking and eating lunch in her car. It upset me, but I kept calm and knocked on her window. She opened the door and said, "Oh, I forgot to tell her that me and Andrew were having lunch together today." Then Andrew said, "I hope she doesn't get mad." I took a breath and said, "No," and turned around and walked towards the car, because if I said anything else it was going to start an argument, but I can sense that my wife was frustrated that I'm leaving. So later that day when I got home, she burst out saying that I embarrassed her in front of Andrew, and I said, "Why do you care, and when did you start dating him?" She said, "I'm a grown woman and I don't have to tell you anything." And then she left, and since then she has been distant, and I notice she has been on her phone more, calling and texting her friends, but I just know it's Andrew, but I don't want to accuse her that I'm wrong and I look ridiculous, but at the same time I want to say something. I don't know what to do. Update. I didn't think I was going to blow up like this, but I want to thank you for the advice and support. I talked to my friend and he gave me an Apple AirTag. I'm going to put it in my wife's car and track it to see if I can find anything and collect the evidence, so I don't get complicated in court if we end up getting divorced, but part of me doesn't want to do it because I don't know if I can take the pain. I went through a lot of bad things and I can't believe she's really going to throw it away so easily, but maybe I'll have to update again when I have time. Comments. 1. Dude, she went to your work for lunch. Not with you, but with another man she just met. If I were you, I would confront Andres and tell him to stay away from my wife. Also, you should pick up your wife's phone when she's not expecting it and check it. What would she think if you showed up at her work to have lunch with her coworker? You need to nip this in the bud immediately. Op, I was planning to do that. Andrew is on vacation, but come back in 3 days. I will give you an update then. 2. Where is his vacation? In your room. Your wife's attitude is horrible and I would divorce her for that, not because she cheats on you with Andrew. Having lunch with him in his car in your work parking lot and telling you that you embarrassed her in front of her romantic partner is too much. 3. Get your wife's phone number and see what you can find. Then draw a dark red line in the sand. She has to go complete no contact and be open with her phone and social media until you can regain her trust, and that if you even think she is talking to him or anyone else inappropriately, the relationship will be terminated immediately and your stuff will be on the porch. Stand up for your marriage and your boundaries, buddy. 4. I would make sure Andrew doesn't meet your wife on his vacation. Take the morning off, but don't tell your wife and go out like you're going to work. Sit outside and watch. He may come over or she may go to meet him. I hope neither happens and you only use one vacation day. 5. No. Don't face him. That is one of the worst pieces of advice. You'll only make things worse, as you'll get it back at your wife and she'll blame you for being controlling and get on the vine while she's being completely inappropriate. Just relax and keep an eye on her. She weaponizes her emotions against you clearly. She went to lunch in her car at your work with someone else without telling you. I can't express how much of a red flag her omission is cause for concern. Nothing may not happen, but her intentions are probably not good. The first step is her confiding personal details, like your relationship, then the next step is emotional deception, then the next is them having realtors in her car and your house when you are away. Nip this in the bud by keeping an eye on her, and when you have evidence of inappropriate behavior, confront her and walk away before she has a chance to storm out, as she probably usually does. Update. I think my wife is cheating on me with my coworker. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I posted, but a lot has happened during that time and I finally found the time to update. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for the support and advice, which really helps me. A quick recap. My wife has been dating my coworker Andrew without telling me, and when I found out, she basically started distancing herself from me, so I suspected she had been cheating on me with him. When I became suspicious, my friend gave me his airdrop and I hid it in my wife's car and followed her. She told me she was going to see a friend, but I didn't believe it, so I followed her in my friend's car to make sure she didn't see me, and after a 20-minute drive she arrived at a hotel. I'm not going to lie, I felt bad and my heart wouldn't stop pounding. I really hoped I was wrong and she was seeing a friend, but instead I saw Andrew waving at my girlfriend and then I saw her running and jumping on a guy and kissing him. I was so hurt and angry I wanted to go out and punch Andrew's body and tell my wife to get all her stuff out of the house, but I didn't. Instead I took out my phone and took some pictures and left when I saw them go into the hotel. I went home and cried, screamed, and blew a hole in everything I was feeling, too many emotions all at once. I called my friend and he came over and I showed him the pictures and started crying again. I screamed, 11 years she's asking. My friend gave me a hug and told me to get a lawyer and keep building up evidence against her. I didn't know if I could go on with that face, but I told my friend I would try. So for these last few weeks I have been building up evidence and keeping my distance. I have seen them go to restaurants, movies, hotels, and every time it hurt, but I was holding on, and she would always tell me she was going out with her friends or family, but I never called her and said okay. I thought I can keep it for at least a few more days, especially since the lawyer I'm seeing I have more than proof to make sure I win and keep everything when we get divorced, but I think I messed up yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday and I really wasn't sorry. My wife didn't even say happy birthday to me, but her parents did, and when I went to work my coworkers brought me a cake and some presents. I tried to hold back the tears because for a moment I forgot everything, at least until I saw Andrew. He brought me a gift and I faked a smile and said thank you, and when I opened it, it was the comic book Batman, Death of the Family, and the truth is I was surprised because no one at work knew I liked comics and DC was my favorite, and when I told Andrew he said my wife told him, and then all I saw was red. Next thing I know my coworkers are holding me down and Andrew is in the corner holding his nose and yelling, "What a thing." And then I yelled, "I know you've been having sex with my wife." Everyone shut up and looked at Andrew and he tried to explain it to me, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was beat his body until he stopped moving. But then my boss came and sent Andrew home and took me to his office, and I told him everything and showed him some of the pictures. He apologized to me and gave me some time off to fix everything, and he will take care of Andrew. The mean person really messed up when I got home and my wife was waiting, and she stormed in saying that I was wrong for doing that to Andrew and that she would talk him out of pressing charges for hitting him, and kept yelling and saying, "Andrew makes me feel like a real woman and treats me right and knows how to make me feel special." And I finally snapped and just yelled, "I don't care." She looks shocked and shuts up, and I keep saying, "If he makes you feel special, go live with him and let him support you because I'm done." And then she had the nerve to cry and say she's sorry. Plus she tried to say Andrew caught her in a weak moment, but I just took a deep breath and told her to get a lawyer because we are getting a divorce, and she actually tried to apologize and said she can't afford one and we need to work on our own, but I just looked at her and told her to pack, and she kept crying and pleading, but I just grabbed her suitcase and called her sister to come pick her up, but she locked herself in the bathroom saying she wouldn't come out until I was willing to work things out with her. I kept telling her that I didn't want to work anything out and that we need space because when I see her I feel angry and hurt, and finally she came out and apologized and then gathered her things and waited outside for her sister. And now I'm finally in the house alone and I can't stop crying. I feel so many things and I don't know. I'm going to see my lawyer tomorrow. And I'm sorry if I was all over the place with my post. I'm just feeling horrible and emotional, but I'm planning on seeing a therapist soon. I will definitely update everything once this is all out in the open. I'd like to thank everyone again for the advice and support. Comments. 1. Make sure you divorce her. She just wants to work it out because she is homeless. 2. She can't afford a lawyer, so you have to work this out. That statement speaks volumes, Op. She has been using you for financial support and Andrew for fun. I wonder if he will find her as fun and special and all that when she has no money to fund lunches and hotel rooms. I couldn't find if you mentioned Andrew's personal situation, but if he and your STBX go to hotels, he must have a so somewhere. Best wishes. Please update us again. 3. Words like sorry just don't cut through the anger and pain. These next few months are going to be an emotional tornado as you renew your life. All I can say is don't drink, don't date, and don't spend too much time alone. Stay the course. 4. She says she wants to work on the relationship after saying Andrew makes her feel like a real, special woman. She uses manipulation to add more disrespect. Make sure you make a financial breakthrough. You should be able to get back half of the money she used on her boyfriend. I am sorry you are here. 5. The audacity of this woman FFS. First she insults you, belittles, disrespects and compares herself to him. Then she cries and wants to fix the marriage. I'm glad you told her you're done. Can't she afford a lawyer? Too bad. Andrew can take care of her now. Don't you dare take her back. Kick her to the curb. Expose her cheating body to family/friends with evidence so she can't paint you as the bad guy. He brought me a gift and I faked a smile and said thank you, and when I opened it, it was the Batman, Death of the Family comic book. Death of the Family, what a bummer. I can't blame you for kicking his body. I hope his boss does something and gets him fired. He caught her in the moment of weakness, so he's the one who started it. A little validation and attention and she readily offers herself. Did his soon-to-be ex-wife explain how she got his number? How long have they been cheating? He had his fun. I bet he drops her like a hot potato. At least you don't have kids. Divorce should be easier. Keep a full NC. Follow the lawyer's advice. Don't drink or stay home alone. Go out and meet friends/family and take care of yourself. 6. Up. I hope you live in a state at fault. Up. I hope you can take your soon-to-be ex-wife and get her out of your life. Up. I hope Andrew, that bad person, gets fired. Up. I take my hat off to you. You stood up like a real J-man. Slap. And divorce papers in your address. So I hope Andrew continues to make you feel special. My heart breaks for you, but you are not alone. 7. She actually tried to apologize and said she can't afford one and that we have to work on us. That's rich. Was she working on us when she was being plowed by Andrew, the one who makes me feel like a real woman and treats me right and knows how to make me feel special? Rednecks, man, they're bad people. The last thing you need right now is to be alone. Find things to do and people to be with, friends and family who can support you emotionally. Don't you have an aunt who needs her kitchen painted, for example? 8. I'm so sorry, Op. But I am so proud of you at the same time. Stand by your decision. Notice how smug she was until you told her you didn't care. She was so used to manipulating you and really thought she could have all the security of being with you with all the excitement of having sex with her coworker. Let her sleep in the bed she made herself. You endured the unimaginable to gather all that evidence while she lied for sport. It hurts, but you will feel so much better after the divorce when you can wipe the slate clean of her absolute mess. None of this is your fault. Cheaters suck and will do everything they can to blame you for their mess.